Morning, everyone, or evening, wherever you are in the world. Those of you who are new, welcome. I'll wait for a few people to get on. I'm doing a check-in with you guys to see where your frequency's at and how we're all traveling. So Giggle will be here shortly. I had a check-in with her this morning. If you are wanting to make a booking, the link will be directly below after the fact. It may be up there already. I have changed some settings. See, here's Giggle. And also those of you who... a lot is changing. So behind the scenes, I'm doing a lot of work to incorporate new style videos, purchasable videos. They're more going to be from the aspect of how to build our spirituality and how to get us back on track to where we spiritually need to be. So they're like our navigation system for some of you through a soulmate twin flame journey. Some of them are going to be there for self-help when we're dealing with conflict, because ultimately speaking, all of us are the mirror to the external. It is an aspect of our manifestation. We do have that shadow side of ourselves. Hello, beautiful Alison. How are you, gorgeous? A big congratulations to Alison. She's manifested in her most beautiful abode. It's really stunning. She's very blessed. So how is everyone? Also, I will at some point, I have applied for another job because I'm taking on the challenge to push myself even further to manifest my goals, but I still will be remaining here. I'm also am going to be adding an element for Twin Flames where, and I'll keep you posted on it, but it's going to be where we can have a subscription-based entry system. I will second and then that way by subscription we can have a monthly check-in. I'm trying to work out a schedule. It may be like a three times a month check-in where we can work through our blocks. So it's more going to be a conversational basis. It's not going to be readings. It's going to be getting into the grid of how to get ourselves back on track and any problems we're having. So even if you're in a soulmate twin flame journey or you're dealing with your finances, you know, problem solving in a closed forum where you can be very candid, I'm going to be creating that too. So I'll give you a heads up about that. How is our frequency? Where are we at spiritually? How are we all feeling in an aspect of our frequency currently? Hello, Canada. I'll wait for a few people to comment. How is your frequency this week? I know mine's definitely changed. It's probably because I'm really focusing the energy back on myself and what I'm trying to manifest. And I feel if you can actually spiritually do that, if you shift the focus back onto self, it does really help to get yourself grounded to where you need to be. I also know in an aspect of a manifestation, when I have a personal block, what happens is it can be, okay, I'll give you an example. When I'm at the I'm not too sure and you're applying for jobs, etc., what you'll find is the frequency you're physically sending out is don't give me the job. Okay? When you're sending out the signal about your love life, unfortunately, when we're in that wavering energy, it can be, you know, old cycles we move through. And it's, you know, down energy. What we do fall into is we need to shift our focus, okay? So if you can somehow break out of that, ride the storm definitely, but get to a point where you can shift the focus directly back onto yourself. Big congratulations. So, you know, it's the movement forward. Now, if you're dealing with the blocks, look at the blocks because they're a key. They're a key for your movement forward. They're not there to say you can't have that door, but you do need to learn to trust that door, that door is yours to own, that you can have that, but you've got to work on your blocks to do that. That's why I'm going to have the, you know, private forum where we can start working on our blocks so we can actually manifest the things that we're wanting. And that's anything. That's a loving relationship, a particular person, you know, that ultimate job, the financial abundance, the spiritual internal, you know, peace. Gaining closure really in situations and coming to a point where you realize you are the island, because if you can get your moral compass back on track to that degree, what you're going to find is you're going to be like a magnet. Everything you want will come to you. Feeling distant, the close to an XDM, not really feeling too well. It can be so. Very agreed. I agree on that. You know, you do need to listen to your body. Well, you know what? Sometimes, and I thought this for many years, it was like that. That has been a hard part in, like, say, for instance, twin flame journey. You don't really get closure because it's like a never ending story. It is really, a never ending story. So perhaps the reason why the closure is not coming is because, yes, okay, you would prefer people at a certain frequency to deal with you in a different manner. Correct, noted. But how you can transmute that and change that around is very much looking at how you can look at the situation of what you've learnt and giving yourself permission to gain closure without the need from another person. We don't get angry at a person if they're unable to give you that closure. Somehow try and find different ways. It's a very healthy toolkit, really, when you think about it. Because a lot of us, when we're needing to end cycles, they can be karmic cycles, to be able to find an internal way to release and trust in the plan and look at it like, I know I'm the best. I know I'm worthy. This has nothing to do with me. If this person spiritually doesn't understand that, they will have to learn that. That's theirs to own, okay? So sometimes what we're doing is comparing. So the closure doesn't even become about closure. Sometimes we're dealing with the pain. Yes, a person highlighted that pain, but you're expecting all those past tense pains to be solved through that one person, which is, again, no man, no woman is an island. So in order to heal that, be grateful that that person has triggered that energy so that you can go, wow, I don't want to go back over this old ground again. I want to get to a point where I can somehow find that internal peace, that I don't have that requirement to seek closure in another person, that I have the tools to say, okay, it was what it was. And I know that sounds very simplistic. If a trigger comes up in it, that's your toolkit. That trigger, if you can work on that trigger point to remove it, nothing can break you. Nothing at all. Because it's what's broken, like the gold bowl, the Chinese gold bowls with all the cracks in it. That is the beauty of the crack of what has harmed you, strengthens you, but it's filled with gold. So you're using that and you're alchemizing it and you're transmuting it into something better, because it's a tool that nobody can kind of breach that kind of factor. Now, I had a point yesterday where I talked to my daughter about this, and, a lot of my spiritual growth, I try and hand it down to her and understand that, especially with, how do I put it? If I knew you well and we talked about little things that you're angry at, I'm sure you could write down 50 things you're angry at and for various reasons. Now, with my daughter, I said to her, I mentioned one person, she said how she felt. I mentioned another person. We went through 10 people. And she was holding on to that energy. And I said to her, okay, now I want you to look at me at the age of 41, and I want you to understand that if you can't learn to let go, what you're actually doing is you're taking a suitcase with you, and it does become very toxic and it will give you illness. So getting to the point where you can grasp that what you're doing is you're owning another person's baggage and you're taking it with you, it's dead weight. You need to let it go. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Okay, that's what I will say, AC Sunshine. I went through a stage where I literally felt in my journey that it was like poison, or it was like, really where you're just transmuting all your energy into this one person, because you can see the mass potential, you can see the energy, and it's like this, it's very hard to explain. I had to talk to another person who does watch the channel, and look, unless you are a twin flame, you really can't understand. And I'm trying to make this channel about various things, so I don't want it completely to be that, because unfortunately the thing is, when we have blocks in this journey, what we will give to other people will help them process their life. But unless a person is physically a twin flame, it's very hard for them to understand. The way they look at it is it's very much a codependent relationship. If you're a twin, it's not a codependent relationship. The karmic cycle is the codependent aspect, because what you will become is someone who is like a Buddhist monk. You can let shit go. you will be able to let shit go. It will not define you. You will not let things stop you. Most of the blocks that the mirroring comes through in the twin flame journey is to show you where you can be free and where you're trapped. So, you know, the runner chaser mode that you go through, the cycles of the mirror, I'm doing videos where I'm going to do the intro videos to give you examples and ways to look at it. And I'm going to give you the toolkits on my website. So you can, it's food for thought when you're having these trigger points, because who's to say if you are to come into union that it's still not going to be work. It's going to be work. We're real, but we've got the tools then to be able to use it without, you know, needing to do that. But we're all trying to win. The thing is, what our twin shows us is what we need, okay? And what another person shows us and what we get triggered by is what we're trying to create or what we're needing. You know, many times it's opposites. It's yin and yang. So they're showing you an aspect inside you that you lack. Look at mirror as lack or trigger or fear. Those are what the mirror effects are. So when you get triggered by something, where do you have power in that and where can you transmute that to change it? So you can go, okay, this number one is not about me. Do I require a boundary? Do I require throat chakra? Do I need to meditate upon this? It can be many things, you know what I mean? So it's using that trigger point and changing it, which will change you. And there will come a point where, how did you say it, Shelley? There was something that you said that we really need to, you know, get into people's minds connected to spirituality and growing. I'll let her put the quote up because we've talked about it a few times. You know, it's hard when you guys are hearing it's not about the connection. It's not. It is, and it can, don't get me wrong, and it's more than likely going to be for many of you. But to get to that, the more work you do on yourself, you're actually closer to the goalpost. When we're in that victim mentality, because we're processing, we are in that pause stage. And that's what you've got to understand. You can do the work as quick or as slow as you want. They need to do their work. Let them own that. You do your work. That's all you need to do, okay? You can't heal a person. You can't fix a person. You can't help them financially. Now, yes, at a degree, but it's balanced, 50-50. Meet me halfway. That's with any person. Twin soulmate. You know, if you can't have healthy boundaries for yourself, yeah, it's about the non-attachment, okay? Love is not, can you feed me? It's loving to give, yes. But keep it separate in your mind, okay? If you've given to someone, you've done it out of love, which means you cannot expect to receive it back. But if you own your worth, you will receive it back. That's different. If you have said, but I was there with this person through thick and thin, you wanted to own that truth because you did it from a place of love. That's healing, because then you're changing it. You're going, no, this person doesn't owe me because I chose to do something loving. That person needs to deal with theirs. And then perhaps what you've been doing is preventing their evolution. So look at what you do, not in a point of you were doing it to weave your way through the matrix, because yes, okay, in the initial stages you were. Look at it more from the point of view of, okay, now, what am I today? Where am I today? Welcome. No. Come on board. Never. Now, when you're looking at it from the point of view of what you can learn and what you can take with you, a lot of people have asked me, you know, if a soulmate, twin flame, or, you know, especially after you've been hurt, getting on board in a new connection, how do you directly deal with that? Especially when you've got the heart chakra that's been wounded, okay? What you need to do is realize that that broken heart and that pain that was caused, by dealing with that, you're free. It's got nothing to do with another person. So if your twin is closing off and shutting down, they're not going to be able to give to a karmic, to you, to anyone, and you need to shift them aside. It's tough love. It's no. Go and look in the mirror. Work out why you feel you don't deserve love. I can't make you feel love. I can't make you feel worthy. I can make myself feel worthy. And it has to be that you own your worth. And that can be where they stand in their power and go, wow, okay, I really need to look at this because my twin, my soulmate, isn't acting in the same way they used to because they're not tolerating it. It's not that you don't understand and have the compassion and have the forgiveness. You know, the coming correct is you coming correct, guys. Is you coming to a point where you're not afraid of your heart, that your heart's beautiful. It's open to receive. It's open to have. It's open to manifest. But while you're in that wound stage and you're thinking, but the past tense, blah, 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 and I don't even like doing this because even when some people are doing videos and they're telling you, you're manifesting, okay? You're saying this, you're saying that, because you're repeating. And even in the video when they do it, I don't even want to listen to the video because it's pounding the negative into your head. So I'm not even going to mention the little things that we play over in our minds that is telling us we, blah, 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 we, this and that, because it's not healthy. You're using it from an ego pain point of view because of the wound around your head that is saying, hey, I can't have that. I can have that. I am worthy of love. You know, if it means for you to change your frequency, you need to listen to particular songs that transmute who you are to be, who you are moving into. Only girl in the world, Rihanna. Okay? You are the only girl in the world. In your mind, feminines, if that's where you need to be and that's what you feel, perhaps you, I won't say the word, wanted that, okay? You need to own that, and you need to not live in fear going, they're not going to come to me, or I'm not going to receive love, because that frequency is not owning it. That is a lack within you. You know, it is trust. You are having trust in the big plan, okay? You need to get to a place where you're not focusing on what's happened. If we're in that energy, we're still living there. Letting it go is not for another person. It is for you. Because as I said to my daughter, when we talked about the 10 people she was mad with, now she's 14, right? Now, by the time you get to my age, if you're doing in that, this is what the second wave of twins are doing at the moment. We're removing the luggage, the baggage, all the crap. If you cannot get to a place where you are choosing to let that go, then no, union will not come. No, great things will not come because you are lacking in value inside yourself. You are saying, oh, and trust me, I know this works bloody hard. That's why, but the ego is being damaged, so it's damaged, right? But we're healing it. We're going, ego, thank you for being that old friend of mine that has helped me learn these karmic lessons, helped me learn the system of the value within myself. It's still going to come up in your mind. It's that little birdie on the shoulder that is coming up to you and it's talking to you, right? So when that happens, say, I hear you, but I know my truth and I walk from my heart. Now, walking from the heart does not mean, I'm not going to say does not mean, change the wording, creating healthy boundaries. Now, for those of you who want to follow me on Facebook, I need to change the link. It is under Yildiz Readings on Facebook. It's the same name. I've recently changed it. I'm going to be doing a live session on there on the 24th. Hey, Stefan. You need to change your frequency, okay? The purging, when it comes up, you can't do anything about that, guys. Be gentle with yourself. Go through that frequency. But when you have that shift in mindset and you realize that your mind is telling you fake stories of what your truth is and what the future is going to be, you're co-creating that. So until you can purge that frequency, if you keep focusing on what's happened, even reliving that image in your head, all you're doing is living back there and you're not open to the new. Don't be afraid of the new. Be it, because the new you can manifest, but you've got to do it from the heart, okay? Hi, Sonia. So, you know, be it with your work. A lot of us have had that pick up of frequency where we're getting a bit more energetic. But you need to get to the point when you have that energy, you are working on your stuff. Not on twin, not on soulmate. You are the island. You need your dreams fulfilled. You need your finances fulfilled. You need your blocks dealt with. Stop focusing on time. If anything, I can honestly say to you, the switch is flicked, guys. It's, how do I put it? The frequency that I've tuned into in the last few days is something's coming. If you are looking at the things already that you haven't addressed, please listen to your intuition, because that is telling you something's coming. And if you're not ready, it's already started. The clock is on. The stopwatch is on. You know that, okay, you're on a race. The button's clicked, okay? So if you're not attending to the things you need to attend to, get ready. You're going to feel like you're in a circus. You're going to be juggling balls in the air, and it's going to teach you how much you can cope with. I mean, for me, I'm taking on 2 jobs. That's what I know what I need to do. If I want my dreams to happen, that's what I have to do. And, you know, so I'm trusting in the bigger picture, and I'm making things happen for myself. If that means I want to move, it means it gives me that ability. If it means I want to do something bigger, you know, with the channel, etc., I can. So you've got to get the power back in you and go, right, what am I going to do about this? What am I going to do about what I feel lack inside of myself to add extra? So it can be you going to the gym. It can be that you're changing your diet. You know, there was a time where I decided that I was not happy in my own skin personally. That was where I was at spiritually, and it's the work I started to do on myself. And I'd had issues growing up all my life with fluctuating weight. And one day I sat there and I said to myself, okay, shoulda, woulda, coulda. If I had started, the big key is don't put a time frame. With any task you want or any dream, don't put pressure. Don't put a time frame. Choose to do it. Realize there will be failures. Failures will create solutions. Keep going. People will notice the transformation in you, but because you haven't set a deadline, or that you have to be, I think 3 times I've lost, I only know it in Australian terms, 40 kilos. And it was, I probably dropped 4 to 5 dress sizes. Now, when we are at that point in our life where we're holding our emotions, we will have the Band-Aid. For me, spiritually, that is what I had. I had the Band-Aid, right? So we all change it to different Band-Aids, and then we have to then go back and work on that Band-Aid. But it's never the Band-Aid that's the issue. And that was, I talked to somebody the other day, and they were talking about the aspect that they had a gambling problem. And I said, but the gambling problem isn't the problem. And they were like, I don't understand. I said, no, that is the mechanism you have utilized to mask the deeper problem. There is a block. You need to dig deeper. So when we're looking at drug, alcohol, sex, codependency, it's not the problem. It's the mask. The fake mask we have is codependency, is our fear in our abilities. It is the aspect of us feeling unworthy. It's the symptom, exactly. So what's underneath was caused by the ego wounding the heart. At a young age, we're very neutral, right? Things happen, hi Mary, then the heart is very humming, glowing, right? Then something happens to trigger a protection mechanism which builds a wall around the hurt. But instead of dealing directly with the hurt, what you're doing is you're going, in order to not feel that hurt, I need to do this, which is then the aspect of, it can be fear of commitment. It can be lack of belief in oneself, financial inadequacies, tolerance of abuse, codependency, drugs, alcohol, sex, smoking, food addictions. That's what's happened, okay? So don't look at the thing as the problem, because no, by working on that problem, you will start working through the process. So for me personally, when I started working on the weight, what did happen for me was I had a realization that I had power, and I realized I didn't. Somebody had told me in some shape or form, or I had learnt spiritually that I had no power, and that if I hid, people wouldn't notice me. So I was hiding behind whatever pain it was. And so over the years, I spiritually dealt with the worthiness aspect, and it was like, no, I am. But you can work on it all you like out here, which is the Band-Aid. So even weight loss is the Band-Aid. If you haven't done the work inside, the Band-Aid's not sorted, okay? So it's the same thing. If you're hurt and you feel unworthy of love, masculine or feminine, you are actually running from what you are entitled to. You need to believe that you are worthy of love, and you need to believe that a person... Okay, the ironic thing is, in a twin flame journey or a soulmate connection, we never go into a situation without baggage, truth. But twins have to do a hell of a lot more bloody work because we have a lot more lessons, because we were built to be awoken, okay, because we're guides. So in that awakening process, you had to go to hell. I'm really sorry. So going through that meant that you were going to squeeze out that stuff so that you can get to a point where you can be healed, okay? Now, in that healing point, what you can give to other people is your difference. So even your frequency around people is going to get to the point where you can help other people, but it won't be through words. It can be, but ultimately that person's got to do the work. And that's really how I teach my daughter as well. You can harbor emotions, but you're the one that has to do the work. You can go to a counsellor. You're the one who has to do the work. Somebody can tell you you're loved. You have to believe it. You walk in your truth. You're walking in your truth. If somebody's hurt you, you can take them back. But unless they believe that they're worthy, you're going to have healthy boundaries, and they're going to have to go out. Giggle, removal. I'm on Skype. I'm on YouTube. Can you, please go inside? I will be finished in 5. My daughter's off sick today. Yes, we won't be having none of that chat here. I'm for world peace. Are you coming or going? You're always present. No, you can't close it. The internet will drop off. Are you coming or going, Stefan? Well, what do you choose? What do you choose, Stefan? Shine bright like a diamond, I say. No man or woman is an island, but you are. Upwards and onwards. It's the umbilical cord. We take people with us because we're standing in our truth. We're in that light. And it's not, religion, spirituality is it's part, right? But you have to do the work, right? It's not about that. You have to do the work wherever you are on your path. And it's not that we are more so. It is that we have to lead by example. So peace comes with us. But if you can't find peace inside yourself, then you don't have the welcome mat there. If you can't forgive people, yet you're going, why isn't my soulmate twin coming? You haven't left the welcome mat out. You're not open to communicate with. You have a agitated, angry, aggressive frequency. And that's another thing. I was tuning in the other day and I was speaking to Giggle, and I was like, if you're sending out the frequency of anger, right? How do I put it? If you're sending out the frequency of anger, a lady gave me a reading years ago, and this card has stood out for me for years now, and it's been, obviously there's a message in it, so many times there has been, and the card of listen come up. Now, how many times do feminines try to guide, right? Guide. But when it's coming from a humble point, you're walking in your truth, you don't need to guide, right? What you're sending out is number one. If you're already angry, then you're not open to listen. You haven't learnt. So no, the person's not coming to you. If you're not open to listen, then you've formed your opinion. You've cast your judgment. Yet you want to communicate to gain clarity. No, you don't, because you're not willing to listen. Your ego may be telling you, because all these people have done stuff to you, that the same's going to happen. And it goes both ways. It does go both ways. So it doesn't have to be one-sided, okay? It could be the other person. Don't feel the need to save, number one. Be open that the person can come to you. They have legs, they have a phone, they have an ability. If they're choosing not to come to you, you don't want them to come to you because they're not ready. You're manipulating and dragging and bringing and pulling and expecting when they're not ready. Because when you have that open heart, you will fight for that. You will make that happen because you know its worth. You know its value. I knew my worth. I fought for my weight, right? So I fought for it and I worked bloody hard. I made that shit happen. Anything I've wanted, I've made happen. When you are looking at another person or a twin or a soulmate of a lack, you're saying you have no faith in their transformation. No faith. And you're not giving them the opportunity to do that. If you're leading and guiding the relationship, you're saying that you don't believe that person has power to do that, or you're not even giving them an opportunity to. So they're sitting back going, well, what? You've already formed your opinion. So I'll just you're leading this relationship out of fear, out of lack of trust. Okay? So yeah, but do you know, how do I put it? The one thing my mama taught me, the one thing, and I'm a Libran, so I'm all for justice. Librans are there is a misunderstanding or a misinterpretation of Librans, right? We do not have an issue making decisions. We can make a very, very fast decision, but we form correct judgments. We are wise enough to gather the information and not operate always from a place of ego. When we've learnt, we are not operating from a place of ego. We are seeing both sides and we will cast a just judgment. That's a Libran. So don't get it twisted. Librans are very, very understanding, fair people. They understand both sides and they weigh it up. Now, you know, you need to understand the way you are dealing with your twin is, if you're walking your truth, it may be that, you know, sometimes we get triggered. So we go over the old ground, okay? As you get more comfortable with your life, you'll realize you have a home. That's if you've done the work. You've got a home. You've got your money. You have your dreams. You have your friends. You have your foundation. That's a foundation, okay? If you don't have that, they're the areas you need to work on. Now, healing yourself, you know, even when it comes to trigger points about people passing over, I know, you know, in life this happens. It is part of life. It's life and death and rebirth, okay? Now, with that, you realise, especially when you're psychic, they're always with you, okay? So healing that pain means you will be guided. Now, with religion, my mother said to me, politics and religion are the two topics that you should never enter. But at some point in time, and I find this quite amusing, when we were in this world, we had multi-religions, right? We had various religions. You want to know about God's plan or the bigger picture? We are literally going to become a world of one culture. And when I say it, one blood, we are theoretically, because it will become a rarity to be one speck of DNA, because we are literally marrying different races, cultures, religions. And I know that my mother was Christian, my father was Muslim, and I believe in a higher picture, okay? I'm very spiritual. But I have friends of many religions, many cultures, but I'm spiritual. And I think when you walk in your truth, when you know your truth, and you have peace connected to your family, they're still your family, okay? Doesn't mean to say it resonates with you anymore, what they follow, but know where you came from. Be humble. Know where you come from, and you sometimes, hey, it might have been hell, but hey, what did that make you? What did it really make you at this point today? I was very blessed that both sides were visually seen and experienced. I lived on a farm. I lived in Europe. My grandfather was a Hodja. He was a holy man, very strict. But the beauty of Europeans is they welcome you in their home. Come, I'll feed you. Do you need a shower? Are you okay? We love you. Do you know what I mean? So what I got out of it is very separate, and that's with me always. So, yeah. Because you're changing. You're changing. A lot of the Kundalini is moving as well. But you still have the pain, hun. So they're not. They're alive with anger inside you. So you need to release it. That's the work. People can do horrendous things to us, right? But unless we can release it and let go, we're carrying really horrible energy. And it's heavy to carry. It's heavy to carry there, and the scars ruin your future potentiality. So even toxic negative people, releasing them and finding peace that you know your worth, that's what you need to do, okay? Then you're not giving them energy, because they will become an energy vampire to you. Wear emblems, wear stones to ground you, and the forgiveness is for yourself, you know, to get closure. If you can have that, you're lighter, and you'll feel the energy being lighter. Because it's like, okay, Florence and the Machine, carrying that dead horse around. That song's so connected to me over the years, you know, and I would think about my whole life journey, soulmate connections, twin flame. The horse was never one energy. It was the whole lifetime, and it's friggin' heavy. You've got to let it go. It won't benefit you. Saying that is one thing, but that's protection mode. You don't need to be protected. You're a diamond. You're strong. Nobody can hurt you. So you need to change that and say, peace out. Like, I'm letting it go. And even tuning into it, don't even give it that. Yeah, so do I. But then don't do that too much, because mentally what you're transmuting with the smudging is, I'm not safe. I need to protect myself. You know, if you feel the need, yes. But if you overdose it, you're actually transmuting out to universe that you don't feel your aura is protected. Your aura is. You're safe. You can pick up on it. Now, if I hear there's a snake in the bushes and a tarot card, it's like, and? I've got my toolkit. I know how to deal. You don't need, you will feel a frequency when you need it. The salt baths, the meditation, the releasing. I'll put the link on it underneath, for the Florence and the Machine. So, you know, when you're looking at someone coming up in a point of a, hey, we're going to get you sort of thing, we've got it in for you, that's always going to be so. And, look, I know some old friends that they hate to love me, love to hate me. And I know they still watch my channel. Cool. And some days they will be, you know, in the ego and watching it and thinking, oh, did you hear what Yildiz said? And then another day they'll be saying, oh my God, this is going to happen in my love life. So you know what? Just accept it. It is what it is. Who cares? Let it go. Just let it go. You could be having people watching you. Now, I am doing a little bit of research into... Mark be getting up here going, Mark, I'm watching you. Don't gate crash. We do a live session for that. Although, researching into Adam, Eve, Juno, Venus. Go and watch the Leo King. I'm doing more research into things that I've... The funny thing is, if you look back, and Giggle and I were talking about this the other day, what were you doing in 2012? What were you doing in 2012, peeps? Go and look at your Facebook profiles if you've got a Facebook and scroll down to 2012. We're back there, okay? So that's a bit of a hint. We're doing a 360 and we're pressing the restart button, and we have a secondary opportunity to make a decision. I don't feel any decisions wrong, okay? You're going to have a 360. You're back to, yeah, probably not connected to that. It can be, but it's not one given thing, but it's a major, major, major thing. I feel this is more in our romance finance house. a transformation, a going back over old ground, and an ability to choose, but you can have it all. Why did you move country? That's what you've got to ask. What were you doing with money? Why did you move country? What were you moving towards in a sense of a goal? Go back and look at the pictures. It's going to jolt a memory. There's a clue in that memory. Were you in communication, though? Renovating. Come on, Gloria. It can't just be that. There's got to be more. Gloria, do you have a grandmother that passed over, my love? Random question. So transformation. Well, we're revisiting it. You may be revisiting that person, or that person might be coming back. My husband passed in 2010 and I feel a grandmother energy around you, doll. Very protective. Very, very protective. Did you have somebody that drowned? Your ancestors are very bossy with me at the moment. They're like, talk to her. I painted my living room. Oh, God. You do realise very deep colours. Research colours before you paint your house. Pneumonia or anything to that degree. There you go. Revisiting that energy. You're going to have round 2. Opportunity to correct. There's one that's really important though. Don't know whether she looks very much like you. You look like each other, okay? She may have been quite frail, but there's energies around you where she's protecting you, but you were somehow the go-to person. I don't know why she's making reference to that. You were the go-to person. Why is she making reference to this? But red makes you eat more, so be careful. It can make you highly active, so at a level of sexuality, yes, it can increase that. You know, most, in the old days, they used to have, how do I put it? Casinos, food, restaurants, always painted red. Red is because it increases appetite. So if you're trying to lose weight, having red around you is not good. If you're doing exercise, it's going to make you exercise harder. It can make you aggressive as well. So check the psychology of colours. Never paint a baby's bedroom yellow. They will never sleep. Good for an office, not for a baby's room. Take your power back, Chris. It's time to get that done. Yes, it's luck, obviously, but it helps you eat more. Yep, makes people buy, spend. Don't get any ideas, giggle. Don't change the colour scheme. Make them spend more. Okay, if you're wanting to make a booking, the link will be directly below. I just wanted to give you guys a quick chat. And Gloria, I'll try and tune into that a bit more. But yeah, your Nana's around you for some reason, and she's really protective of you, doll. So anything you're dealing with right now, she's protecting you. I know I don't know why family's coming towards you so much, or you've had to deal with a lot of family crap, but she's guiding you through a process you're currently going through. Her anniversary might be coming up, or her birthday, or something connected to family. So just know that she's with you at the moment, okay? You're very protected. You're very, very protected. So any of you who are new, welcome. I hope you stay. We do live twin flame videos on here. Now, those of you who aren't twin flames, what I do have to announce is I am going to be doing at some stage live readings for the zodiac signs. It's going to be a 3-card pull so I can tune into the energy of messages that you need. When I have time, I'll do that because I don't want the others of you to feel left out. The channel is a holistic channel, so it's going to be anything to do with healing, your chakras, you know, chakra food to help us balance our energy, check in so we can spiritually, you know, get ourselves to the best we can be. The zodiac signs, every month, the mid-month ones and more, okay? So welcome on board if you're new, and I'll check in with you guys soon. Click the like bell, guys, that shares the video. Thank you. Anytime.